Hadn't refreshed on my screen yet. It should be live. What's up, Abraham? Looks like I need to wipe off my camera lens a little bit. What's up, Jock? Bobby Beach, Gusty, Raider Nation, my HVAC Life. Ordered 2 of the side rail Packout accessories from Acme. Tuesday out for delivery. Wednesday out for delivery. Today out for delivery. No package. FedEx sucks. Yeah, it always stinks whenever you order something and like I need to turn the volume down on this so it ain't. And then it doesn't come. My MP2X, whenever I ordered that, it got lost in the mail, and I was so mad. So much pregame missed. Yeah, I saw that. I scrolled for a little while, and I thought I'm not going to catch. If I go up there and even look at that, I'm not going to stay with what we got. So spring promo is Friday night, early Saturday morning-ish. Depends on when you get in on it, I guess. So I thought we'd talk Veto bags tonight, and then also just talk about what we did this week. What's up, Wings and Pizza, Someway, Contreras, Kovalchuk, I guess. I hope I said that right. Kovalchuk. That's what it looks like. What's up, TPG? T-minus 1 1/4. I like the Veto pack on the shelf. I was thinking of getting the same one, but in high vis. Yeah, the Tech MCT is a really good bag. That's the one I always recommend to a lot of people. And I'm curious about the infrared, which is what I'm going to get for sure, an infrared bag. I'm leaning towards the MCP backpack, and that's probably what I'm going to get, unless for some reason it's sold out whenever I get on there, and then I'll get that. So I'm leaning towards getting the MCP, but I would think about getting the MCT version as well. I think the price difference isn't crazy different between that one and the other, but the reason why I like that bag is because the footprint of it is really nice. The MCT Blackout, it's kind of like it's big, but not too big, but it's also not too small to where it holds a lot of stuff. But then if you go adding side pouches onto the side of it, it might make it a little bit too big. Again, don't know until you get it in your hands. That's the thing about Veto Pro Pack, is there's no store that I can go to and be like, oh yeah, I get to see that bag in my hands. All I can really do, I've been going by the measurements, because that's the thing I'm worried about the MCP is the backpack. Is I like the size of that, and I'm not sure that I want one a whole lot bigger. And the infrared's already getting bigger because of the 2 pouches. But what I did was I looked at the measurements of the Tech Pack MCP, which is 17 inches high, 16.5 inches wide, 9 inches deep. Really, the MCT version of it is only like a 1/2 inch difference on the width and the depth. So that's no difference whatsoever. And it's really just 3 inches taller. But I was using this bag the other day to kind of get an idea. So the infrared version of this bag is 16 inches wide, whereas this one's about 12 inches. So you're adding basically, I mean, just 2 inches on each side. So it shouldn't be that big of a difference in all reality. And then the Tech Pack is 3 more inches taller. So essentially that Tech Pack is going to be to here, and then a handle on top of that. So I don't think it's going to, the height difference on the size isn't going to be as big a deal to me. So that's why I'm really leaning towards going to that backpack. It was I don't want a bag to be much bigger, this way. Like I like them to be fairly thin that way, that kind of stuff. What's up, Big Brother Tubbs? Every ad is pizza lately. Acme has a Packout buy more, save more with a stackable discount. Mac Bergson says, I'm getting 2 bags to get the tier 1 and the tier 2 freebies. Yeah, I'm not too interested in the, what is it, the SC45 or whatever. I am interested in the SPMC. So that's the whole reason why. Plus, I really want one of them infrared bags, so it's going to work out that way for me. But I'm not too interested in that, the little pack thing. That's not stuff that I really use that much. You want a backpack, Matt HMM says. That you've talked me into it. I spent so much money on tools in Milwaukee Packout since I found this channel 2 weeks ago, Chris said. I'm getting 2 bags, tier 1 and tier 2, David said. That's not that big of a difference. I think if I like the MCT because I want a bigger one. And I mentioned it, I think it was either in the last live. I've also just talked about it before, back whenever I bought the MB5B. I kind of want a backpack just for, I haven't ran a backpack since I had a DeWalt backpack, and it was like a CLC version, like CLC or whatever had that, and DeWalt's name was basically on it. And I didn't like it, but I didn't like that backpack. I didn't like that bag. It wasn't the backpack part of it. But I also didn't really use a backpack that much as a facilities maintenance person, facilities manager, because I just drove my truck to wherever I was going, or 9 times out of 10, I just carried my TP4B or whatever. Didn't really need anything big. But now that I am going in and out of people's houses from my truck with multiple things, I think there will be a lot of times where if I could throw my tool bag on my back, carry my ladder, carry my drop cloth, carry some Packout, I think it might help me out some. Chris, just sell a kidney. You'll get by with just one. I spent way too much money on climbing, became a Klein fanboy since starting to watch this channel. Klein's come up with a lot of stuff in the last few years, probably more stuff than I could ever, which for good or bad, you know, some of the stuff they're coming out with, in my opinion, isn't all that great, but they have for sure, because they're for the longest time. I mean, Klein was just basically several select hand tools, wasn't really into a lot of different stuff. And all they did was come out with newer versions like ever so often. But it's like here lately, they've been coming out with some tools like crazy. Big Brother Tubbs, I seen Lowe's is offering Veto on the app. Wondering if they'll have them in stores. Yeah, I don't know. They do have them online. And Home Depot's even got, because whenever I went to the shop button to look up the MCT, Home Depot's even got some on their website now too. Is the list out for the tiers and freebie yet some way? Yeah, I made a post. I've got a picture of it here on my iPad too, in case somebody asked anything specific. But I made a post. If you go and look for a post, I made a post of a picture that I found on Facebook on one of the Veto, whatever they're called on Facebook, the pages or whatever it is. I've tried the Veto Milwaukee and Klein backpacks. I can't get used to the tool backpacks. Yeah, the MCP one is pretty much a lot like this backpack, with the exception of it's just got some backpack straps, or a lot like this bag. It's just got some backpack straps on it. But the one thing that I thought I would like better on the, which this side's not, you've got quite a bit of room up here, but that extra 3 inches that you get, like, you can't really put very many tools on the MCT up here on the top. This is more like, I don't know how close that is. This is more like bits and, you know, that kind of stuff like that, versus on the MC, the Tech Pack MC, a little bit taller. I mean, you're still not going to be able to fit like full screwdrivers and stuff up there, but you could for sure fit like, you know, smaller Vera screwdrivers, like, you know, these ratchet screwdrivers like this, like that kind of stuff. Different stuff like that. You could for sure, maybe some shorter pliers and stuff even up on that top half, because you're getting an extra 3 inches. So I think it might end up being a little bit better, but again, I won't really know till I have one. That's the thing that kind of stinks. But another reason why I started to say I wanted to get the infrared MCT, because I've already got, like, I could take the panels out of this one. I've also got a bulk panel. My garage door open. I've also got a bulk panel and stuff like that, so I could use all those panels because it's V-swap with that bag. But then I also thought, well, I've already got an MCT, so if I buy the MC, then I still have a little bit bigger bag. I've got a medium-sized bag. I got tons of small bags because I try those. The small bags are typically the ones that I end up using the most. I'm fine with tall bags. Too wide is an issue. Yeah, the too wide and then the too deep on their measurements. I don't like bags that are real deep. Picked up the Klein copper pipe cutter assortment. I think they aren't that good. B1062. Is that the ones that are in the mod box case? Because I actually was looking at those. I thought about getting those, and I thought about getting the faucet removal tool. That's like the rigid one that I've got. I thought about trying that out too. Cass says the measurements aren't all that accurate. Yeah, because you never really know. That's just like the measurement they give you for this bag is actually to here for the bag, not with the handle up. So you never really know where they're actually measuring from until you get one and stick a tape measure on it. Are Home Depot or Lowe's authorized retailers for Veto? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're, I would think surely they are, like for warranty and stuff. Like I can't imagine a big store like that selling them not being an authorized dealer. Like usually it's the little weird oddball places like or third party sellers on Amazon or something like that. What's up, Woodchuck? Veto prime time. They need different colors, like maybe electric blue or a dark shade of orange. Yeah, I think that they're starting to do that more too. Like that's what, but pretty much most of their new stuff this time around are just, they got a couple new things, but most of it is just different offerings of different color patterns of bags. That's like that Tech MCT that Adrian got, or anybody got, I guess, if they went to the HVAC show, that ACR or whatever. Those were pretty nice looking. They had a lot of little red accents and stuff on it. But yeah, I'm curious about the SPMC myself. I've been running this SBLD. I like it, but I probably really don't need some of the stuff that's in there for my go bag. But I've actually been using this. This is the only bag I've actually been keeping in my truck is the SBLD. And then I've been using my pouches as kind of my go bags. So if I can go to a little bit smaller one, I might transition from that. And I don't know. Like I said, I just like trying them. And the infrared one's just my color scheme. And I've always said, like, even since I've had this one, the MB5B, one of the things that leaned me towards that, with it being a small backpack, but more than anything, I was wanting a bag with them little pouches on the side of it. And then now they came out with it, and it's like, well, I've got to get that. That's kind of what I was wanting. I was going to show this because I know a lot of you went to go get the Hyper Tough cart, and I've used this twice this week, doing some different stuff, and I love it. Like I said, is it the most beefy thing in the world? Absolutely not. But is it nice? Yes. So I went and bought the strap deal. So this was normally through here, and then I got that backwards, but then it was like it was double stitched around this, so you couldn't really take it off. It was like this here, and then this was stitched together, and I just took a knife and cut this so I could pull this out. Because Brian Hall sent me an email. He went and bought this, and he was buying some accessories and stuff. So you can take like your MPX pouch or any other pouch if it's got this sort of a thing on it, and slide that through here like this. I don't know if this will be in the picture or not, maybe. And then I can use that on there. It's not ideal because the top height, I don't know if this is even in the frame or not. Let me see. You can see it down there. Just for, I wouldn't take it on and off this cart, but if you wanted to add pouches to the cart so you could pull tools in and out of it, use them, and then put them back. But the only thing about that is, Like if you're somebody super tall, those are pretty far down there. So you might would want to look into doing something different. But just an idea of if you buy the strap thing, I think this was $3. It kind of gives you a hook spot for something. But what I ultimately did was I found a new use for my Veto MP1 because that strap wraps right around the handle like that. And then that gives me tools pretty much right here at my hand. So now if I'm going to use this cart, I'm just going to leave this MP1 on here. I can grab tools out of my truck, out of my bag or whatever, and put them in here if I don't want to carry around, or if I need some specialty tools for something that I'm doing specific with it, I can do that with that. Oh, my chat wasn't scrolling. I thought it was. I have a Husky tool backpack, but I really like the back style to have all my tools in it. Have a hard bottom so the bag won't fall the whole time. Yeah, the DeWalt bag that I had, it fell over all the time. The pocket stunk. It was also one of those that, you know, that's one thing I like about like Veto's, how really it's just a tool on one side and then you got two sides. I'd rather have that than open up a bag and have tools like where it folds out like that. I've never liked that for whatever reason. It was the mod box case on the copper cutters. Well, good to know. I won't buy them now. Where'd you get your red Klein bag with the I got that one and then also a blue one, and I got them at rec sale. They had them on sale. It was back, that was during the time when they had the Klein screwdrivers. These USA screwdrivers that were red, white, and blue. These, and they had a couple other tools too, that the Legacy something or other. Those were out the same. Those bags were like part of that same Legacy of that year, and I picked them up at rec sale. When does the promo go live exactly? Normally it's midnight on March 1st. So whatever your midnight, I think Veto is like East Coast time zone. So like Eastern time zone. But can you fit an M18 hacksaw in the tech pack? Matt would know that. I don't have a tech pack, so I don't know. How many times have you had the SBLD flip over? Very rarely. Never really working with it ever. Now, driving a few times, but it's because I really hammered on the brakes or something like that. But as far as like while I'm working, it never has. It's got a pretty decent sized base on it. Picked up the Flex rolling drawer box. Love it. Yeah, the tough cart is just fine. Yeah, it's been I used it. So as far as this week, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about what I did this week, and y'all can share what you did this week too. Let's see. So I finally got to do the fascia board. The weather's been pretty nice for the last few days. Like it's even got up in the 70s one day. So I had a place where I had to take down some old rotted fascia board on a service station and replace it. I replaced it with some black PVC. And then let's see, then I went and repaired some metal siding that had got torn off for storm damage. That was for the same customer, but two different service stations that he owns. And I was just waiting for good weather for that, but he needed it done before March 1st. So I was hoping I was going to get some good weather before then. And then also worked in the doctor's office this week. That's where I was using this cart, hanging a bunch of TVs, putting together office chairs, putting together cabinets. I also put together a shed today that was a nightmare. Little 3x5 metal shed on Amazon. I looked it up. It was like $130 or something like that. And whatever they thought they saved on that, it cost them more than that in labor, I'm sure, of putting it up by the time, because I had quite a few hours putting that thing together. Me and a buddy of mine even. So The plastic that was on the metal that came with it, like that they put it on there to protect it, that you have to peel it all off. Well, it was like kitchen saran wrap or something. You could not peel it off in like a piece. Like every single thing was like you might get this big of a piece off of it and it'd start tearing. It took longer to take that plastic stuff off of stuff than it did to even build the thing. It was crazy. I also hung another TV. So I hung like 7 TVs this week. Then I also did some ceiling fans, a couple of little electrical calls and stuff like that. But yeah, I used that cart at that doctor's office and basically put my tool bag on it just like this. I had my Packout vacuum sitting on the top here with it. All the hardware and stuff for the TVs I was putting on that bottom shelf and just rolling it around with me. I had my magnetic mat on there with all the screws and stuff like that. So, and again, it just saved me the trips of every time I moved to the different room to do another TV, of having to carry my vacuum, carry my tool bag, go back to some other room and get parts and stuff like that. So for 50, like I said, for $50, it's going to be great for me. I didn't mention it in the video. I did, but then something happened and I had to refilm it and I forgot to say it. But like Amazon's got 2 of them. One of them's a Work Pro and one of them's an Olympia or something like that. That looks just like it for $100. I remember last year talking about getting rid of your TPLC. If you still have it, I thought about stealing the flat. Yeah, I actually just sold it, my TPLC, probably about 2 weeks ago. Somebody finally bought it off Facebook. What's up, HV? What's up, Curtis? There you go with the MP1. Yeah, that worked out really good because I actually came out here to try the thing Brian sent me, and I like it. It's just a little bit low for me. And then I was like, well, my MP1 would probably wrap around that. I mean, it wraps around it perfect too. So that's where that's where that one's going to stay. Trolling Morgan. There's Curtis, the something of the year. I don't remember what the first. He won the, is it YouTube channel of the year or HVAC YouTube channel of the year or something or other of the year. You're blowing up over here. What's the tech pack question, Matt? It was, can you fit a hacksaw? But let me see if he said M18. Let me see what he said. Yeah, M18 hacksaw and a tech pack. Can you fit that in there? That's what he was asking. I always like the TP for that reason. When is the Veto promo? March 1st. So it's going to be Friday at midnight Eastern time if they started at midnight. That's how they've normally done it. It's basically as soon as March 1st hits. Again, I don't know that for sure. That's just when it typically does. So what are you doing in here, Kurt? HVAC nights in here. Yeah, I probably need to change the time because they start at like 7 or something like that. And I didn't even think about that. I probably need to change my time of which I used to start this at 6, but then I end up being out here too late. So at least if I start at 6:30, I'm not on here for too long. B1062. I love the idea of a little cart like that. Yeah, if I work somewhere like where I worked at one place all the time, like I'll end up using this here in my garage a lot, and then basically I'm gonna fold it up and stick it in my truck if there's jobs where I know that it'd be useful. I'm not gonna carry it with me all the time. But yeah, like I said, I know for a fact whenever I start working on the quadplex, doing the interior build out of doing all the door trim and all the door locks and all that, I'll save $50 in time like that for sure. Not supposed to use the instructions. Captain 41 said. You probably talking about that the shed. Yeah, it's like I said, let me see if I can pull up a picture real fast. I'll show it to you. I'll lose the chat for a second, but me go to my photos. Of course, I got to come around because, again, YouTube stinks on the mirroring. So it was a little shed like this right here, and I ended up having to dig out around their building. They're going to put their generator in it. I put them a pass through to put a cord through over here, and they're going to, you know, lock their generator in. But they were just looking for somewhere to store it, so they bought this building, and I put it in today. And I mean, I'm not kidding you. Horrible. Here's the siding on one service station. They had a bunch of stuff blow off. I put that back up. There's the service station. Had a bunch of rotted fascia out here in the back, and he had some damage to his weather head and the roof. He's got to get that fixed, but I put the black PVC trim on there. Yeah, here's the tier thing. So I've got a post with this picture on there though. I should have a video. Yeah. I also was able to use the SDS, the new one. This is the old one. There's the original SDS. So I got a little bit of footage for the review video for that. And then I swap over and then also use the new one there. I still got to get some footage using the chisel on the SDS. I've used it to try it, but I've got some brick over at the quadplex that I'm working at that was a sample that we put together for the owner to look at along with the siding on top of it. And I'm going to see if I can get it flipped over so that I can use that chisel on it and get some footage of that. Let's see. Need a frequently asked question picture. I just started my week. Got to start the day 80 foot up on a crane fixing stuff. HVAC. Curtis said he loves the MCT. Yeah, the MCT so far out of all the bags I've used is the best bag I've used. And like I said, I'm not using it now just because I like trying different stuff. But as far as like I tell people all the time, so far, if someone said, "Hey, you can only have one Veto bag out of the ones that you own, you got to do something with the rest of them," that's the one that I would keep and use because I like it. Just start. The more you add to the cart, the more your problems. Yeah, that's just like all those side pieces and stuff. The more you, which this right here on here like this, the MP1 on here like this, it folds up and just stays just like it is. So I can just leave that on there. But yeah, the more little attachments and stuff you put on there, you got to kind of take those off. Cart slick. Maybe you can do a video once you've had it in service 6 months. You won't believe what I got at Lowe's. Flex high torque, flex impact marked down to 129 on accident. Lowe's sold it for 129 that the promo was supposed to be for. It's pretty nice. I still haven't tried any flex tools. My house came with a Caterpillar generator. It now needs about 3,000 in parts. Yeah, I have thought about. I don't know that I'll buy like it's been very few times where we've not had power. Like I can remember there was one time during an ice storm we didn't have power for maybe like 3 days or something like that, and that's probably about the longest in recent times, anyways. I've thought about buying me because I don't really care about running anything else. It's just a big deal for your refrigerator more than anything. I thought about getting me like one of those Jackeries or anchors or whatever, like a big one that that you can charge up, and some of them even have solar to where you could probably at least keep your refrigerator and stuff from going out. I have a 7-year-old Ryobi oscillating tool, works fine while I want to buy the new M12. My question to you is, if it works fine, should I buy expensive blades to improve performance? Yeah, a blade on an oscillating tool makes all the difference in the world. Like that's a huge, which pretty much a lot of saws, in all honesty. Like sometimes people will say, well, this saw stinks. And a lot of times it's because they've got a bad blade on it, like just a generic blade, or maybe the blade that even came on the saw, or whatever it is. Like a blade makes all the difference in the world. Like, I don't care what tool you've got. If you've got a crappy blade on it, it's not going to do very good. Is MCT tier 1 or tier 2? Hang on just a second. MCT tier 1, tier 2. Let's see. Look and see real fast. According to this picture, anyways, I'm assuming this is a legit thing. So the MCT Blackout is tier 1. So Tech MCT Blackout, Special Ops are tier 1, and Tech MCT, just the plain one, is a tier 2. Which, if it was me, I'd get the Blackout. I think it's worth it. It's a little bit heavier bag because it's actually built a little bit different. Like, it's got more structure to it with this handle. But to me, the whole difference in price, to me, just to get this on both sides is well worth it, in my opinion. Like, it's nice to have that on your bag. Have those, it's also V-swap, so you can actually at least do some changing around later. If something happens, you want to use the bag for something different. Let's see. I'm ignorant about the Veto promo. Someone tell me how it works. Order a bag, get a random free bag depending upon what you buy. Automatically not seeing info on the website. So certain bags, basically certain bags that cost X amount. They've got 2 free things that they give out. One of them is for a lesser amount of money. So if you go buy a lesser amount of money bag, that's the free item they give you. Or if you buy one that is within the tier 1 more expensive bags, they give you this free item. If you buy it from Veto directly, they automatically just do it. Like, they'll send you the free bag and all that stuff and add it to your order. If you go somewhere, certain retailers will do it as well, but you have to fill out the paperwork and do all kinds of stuff and mail it in, and then they'll get you the free bag. It's always easier, in my opinion, just to buy it from Veto. I love the little M12 SDS. I freaking love that tool. Yeah, the new one is super nice too. I think it's just based upon the little amount I've used it. I feel like it is more powerful, like it's faster or something. But the belt hook, to me, the chisel feature is nice, but the belt hook is worth its weight to me. Precursor said, does the apprenticeship discount stack the spring promo? I don't have any idea, buddy. I don't know. Wouldn't surprise me if it does, though. They're normally pretty good about all that stuff. So, but I don't know. Generator is cheaper than dealing with what frozen pipes can do to a house. Buy the good oscillating tool blades. They are expensive, but I agree they make the biggest difference. What's up, Keezy? What are the free bags? Rich said. So tier 1 is the SP. They're both new, so they're nothing that nobody has out there. So the tier 1 is SPMC. So that's if you buy a tier 1, which is a more expensive bag. And again, there's not really a monetary value to say this is what it is. They've got a list of the bags, and I've got a post on all my, wherever you see my post at. I don't even know where that is, but that has a list of those. And then there's a tier 2 bag, which is a SC45, which I've got this actually. I'll show you. I forgot I got the catalog sitting here. To come around there so I can see what I'm showing you. So the SPMC is this bag right here. And it's unique in the fact that the flap comes down instead of folding up. So you can kind of always leave it as an open tote with the flap down and then still have your parts bag showing. And then it also comes with this small holster right here for tools, and then also a small drill holster. So it comes with these two things right here with it as well. So that's going to be your tier 1 bag for free. So you'll get this one for free. And the tier 2 is, I have to find it. It's probably towards the back. Yeah, here. SC45. So it's got that same tool holster that clips on the outside. And then other than that, it is basically like a small clip-on, like small parts deal. Couple guys got videos for it, like Coolin' with Kraus. I think he was at a show. Curtis, that was in here a minute ago, HVAC guy. They were all down there at that AC HR. So a few of their videos have some of that stuff. If you get a battery generator, review it, and they will want you to review all of them, and you will get lots of them for free to keep. Yeah, I've seen that. A lot of people that I've seen a lot of people do multiple videos of different ones. I don't know. I did have, I think I had Jackery or somebody contact me one time, but then sometimes I'll say, sometimes those companies will contact me and then I'll email them back and say, I'm interested in it. And then I'll give them kind of what I don't ask for anything except for the free item. Like I don't want to buy it or whatever, and then I tell them, as long as I'm able to say whatever I want to say, as long as, this, that, and whatever that, as long as they know that I'm a full-time contractor, I fit it in whenever I can type thing. And then sometimes I hear back from them and sometimes I don't. So I don't know if they don't like my emails back to them. So I never heard from them again. I actually asked, I told them I'd take one of them, but I didn't hear from them again. This week is going crazy working on a project for a TV show on HGTV, renovation Aloha. HGTV renovation Aloha. I have to look that up. I don't have HGTV or anything, but sometimes that stuff I can find it on some of those apps that I've got. Great thing with Veto bags, they sell quick on Marketplace if you price them right. Yeah, that's what I said that before too. Like, so in my opinion, like let's say you want the SPMC and you don't even care whatever the other stuff is. And yeah, you could just go buy the SPMC and then matter of fact, you could buy that. And then I think you get the SC45 for free. I think it might be in that second tier. I'd have to look and double check. But I would say, like, you're not going to sell your Veto bag probably on Marketplace during spring promotion. So you have to realize you might have to hang on to it for a little while. So you're going to be out some money and then you might have to hang on to it for a little while. But don't just buy the cheapest bag that you can buy to get your bag for free. Like buy something like a Tech MCT Blackout or the bags that a lot of people are going to use all the time. Like people buy them. Like don't get some weird bag just because it's cheap. Like if you want the SPMC, I'd buy like the Tech MCT Blackout. Hold on to it until the spring promo is over. Put it on Facebook Marketplace for like $40 cheaper than whatever you paid for it, and you'll get that for it. And then you basically paid $40 for your SPMC. So that's the way to go about doing it. That's how 9 times out of 10, that's what I end up doing. Like this bag right here, I haven't put it into use yet. The TPLD, I bought it and got the DP3 for free. I ended up not really using the DP3, especially now that I got the MPMX, and then I started using my other pouches and stuff more, and I just didn't end up using it. So I sold the DP3 for, I want to say I sold it for $80 or something like that. So whatever this bag cost, minus $80, that's what I really paid for this bag. Have you tried anything from the brand called Lexavon? I've seen them on Amazon, but not familiar with the brand. I have a set of impact sockets, a set that's for like the most common sizes for lug nuts. I keep it in my truck with my 3/8 impact stubby. and they've worked pretty good. I've taken off lug nuts with them 4 or 5 times now at least. They've been fine for that. But that's the only. I think that's the only thing I have, except for maybe I've got an angle finder that might be that brand too. I'm not real sure. I know those impact sockets are that brand. Thank you, sir. March 1st, I'm in Veto, and it's your fault, man. You'll be glad you did. If I mean, I remember like the first Veto bag that I bought. I'm just like, that is crazy. It seems like to pay that much money, but they're super nice. Like it's just something. It makes it enjoyable to use your tool bag. And like I've always said, it's while you're working. If it's not enjoyable and you can make it a little bit more enjoyable, why wouldn't you? I mean, any experience with the new Leviton lever lock receptacles and switches? I haven't used any of them yet. I've seen some videos of them, but I haven't used them yet. Need to get my kids signed up as an apprentice for something. Would the M12 SDS be good for 3/8 and half-inch holes in concrete? Looking for something for tighter spaces. I'm sure that it will drill because I've drilled it with my other one. I don't know that you want to just go around and do a million of them with it or anything, but I'm sure it will. I know I've drilled 3/8 and half-inch holes with mine because it's the only SDS I carry on my truck with me all the time is my older M12, and I know I've drilled some holes. So it's definitely 3/8. Like I said, I don't know that you'd want to like go around and put anchors in the whole entire house with it just because you're going to run through batteries and it's going to, be pretty rough on it. Which wheeler holds as much as my MCT lock camera set? I think they've got a Tech Pack MC wheeler as well. So that's kind of, I think the Tech Pack MC is a lot like an MCT kind of ish size wise and all that stuff. That's what I'm going to get in the infrared. I think they've got a wheeler of that too, but I'm not sure. I'm not positive on that. Again, I've got the catalog. Why ain't I looking? I always forget. I set this out here specifically so that I could look. Let's see. Yeah, so they got a Tech Pack MC wheeler and then also a Tech Pack wheeler. So the Tech Pack MC, as far as the bag itself, I don't know if the wheeler, let's see, 18.5 by 14 by 10.5. So it's 18.5, 14, 10.5. And then the Tech MCT, 14, 12, 8.5. So it's 4 inches taller, 2 inches wider, and 2 inches deeper as a wheeler than what the Tech MCT is. So it's not crazy bigger, but I would think it would hold similar amount of tools type thing. How much is the SPMC retail for? That I don't know. I think it is on the Veto site now as far as the price though, but I'm not positive on it. I don't know, and I can't look that up in here. Somebody else probably knows though, I'm sure. I want to say it was like 150-ish range or something like that. I did a 3/4 hoe with my M12, did fine, but probably wouldn't like hundreds of them. Yeah, I'm almost positive I've drilled at least. I know I put in some like half-inch holes for wedge anchors and stuff with mine before, and that's the older version. I haven't done it with the newer one, which that was a question I got asked whenever I did the tool haul with the new M12 SDS. So I screenshot all those questions. I'm planning on, I'll drill like a half-inch hole with mine and put it in the review video for it whenever I get to it. I'm trying to think of places where I can go drill holes in concrete because I don't really have anywhere right now currently because all the drywall's hung, so I can't just go drill it in places in the place where I'm working at. So I'm trying to think of somewhere where I can go drill some holes that isn't going to matter. 160 on the ad for the SPMC from what I saw, the same as the SPLD last year. So probably 159 or something like that. The SC45 opens wide, which is a change. Yeah, and I think it was Jake with Kula McCrouse. he opened up like it opens up, and then you can even take a piece out of it or do something, or actually I think it's Velcro inside of it that you can undo and open it up farther, and then whenever you close it, that Velcro automatically kind of reattaches itself or something. He's got a he's got a video of going around the Veto stuff like at ACHR or something or other, and he's got some stuff on there. Who are some of your favorite content creators to watch or have inspired you to build your channel? So tool wise, I watched Project Pine Hills, Last Best Tool. I don't watch a lot of like the testing tool stuff because I don't, to be honest with you, that's like I get some comments on my stuff like I wish you'd like done something with a certain tool that would have taken like you'd had to build some kind of apparatus and do all kinds. It's like I'm not into all that. It's just like I don't care if an impact beats another impact by 1.5 seconds. I don't care. You know, that's not going to sway me to buy this impact for 1.5 seconds if it's in a total different battery platform than what I'm in. You know, there's tools that I'm going to buy just because I buy them based on I'm going to use them, you know, for my work. And I'm not going to go buy just some random drill because it's 1.5 seconds faster at putting in a 12-inch screw that I never use type thing. So I don't watch a lot of, you know, those type of channels. I like, it's not that I don't like them. It's just, that's not something that interests me about tools in that way. Now, certain tests that they do, I do find interesting, but certain ones I don't. So those are some of the main ones I'm trying to think. I mean, I watch all sorts of your guys' channels, like Tools with Tim's just started a channel, Tooling with Newman. Like most of the time, I'm going and watching guys' videos that comment on my channels most of the time because I'm clicking on their name whenever they comment on there, and I go see what they've got going on. I don't comment a lot on videos. So like I might watch, if some of y'all have a channel, I might watch yours and I don't comment. And sometimes I do comment on people's. It all really just depends on 90% of the time I watch YouTube on my TV. And so I can't comment really from my TV. You might can, but I'm sure it's a pain doing it with your remote or something like that. So the only time I really ever comment on people's videos is if I just so happen to be sitting somewhere waiting to get into a customer's house or something like that, and I'm on my phone and I'm watching it on my phone, then I'll comment on it. I watch a lot of like people just doing stuff, but it's also random people on that too. Like I see people like there's one guy that's like a $9,000 house or something or other. He doesn't post as much as what he used to, and then there's just people working on houses and stuff like that. I watch a lot of HVAC channels for whatever reason. Like I watch Colin McCrouse, Curtis, Adrian. I watch Handyman Experience guy. I watch him. I watch the Handyman. I've been watching him. He's one of the first people I started watching on YouTube. But he doesn't do a lot of work videos as much as what he used to anymore. But I still watch his channel too. I'm trying to think of who else. That's some of the ones that are just coming on top of my mind. But I really watch whatever YouTube puts in front of me most of the time. Jack Offrey's never made my short list, but in all fairness, they have recently finally released some more modern power stations. Black Hole, I got a cheap Chinese made tool bag. I hate it. It stays in the closet. DP3 makes a good car tool bag. I'm going to try to get caught up here. I talked too long on that last thing. $159.99, Bobby Beach said. So I just checked in. Wayne Dolan, is the tier list out yet? Check for my post. Again, I'm assuming you can go to my page and see the post that I make, community page or something like that. I posted a picture a while back. I've got one on here, but it's very hard to see because it's a picture. Like I can't put it up in a live like what I do in my videos type thing. Heath, what's the thing on your hat? That's my microphone. Justin Davis. Thinking of the Tech TT to organize hand tools and cordless tools in my truck toolbox, and the DP3 looks like a good buy. What's the Tech TT? I don't. Somebody else mentioned that Tech TT, and I've never heard of it before. I meant to look that up the other day because I thought they got like a letter wrong or something. I've never heard of the Tech TT. Tech MC, Tech MCC. I don't think I remember seeing it. Is the Tech TT like a big bag? I've still never, whatever that is, I've still never seen it. Tech Pack LT, MC, MC, LD, MC, 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 OTSC. Yeah, I don't remember seeing it. Let's see, TPLC, XXL. Yeah, I don't think it's in this catalog either. M12 SDS for handyman work. If you're going on the real job site for 10 hours, get the M18. Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, like I said, I use it as the one in my truck because it's not very big, and I mostly put in tap cons 90% of the time with mine. CTXL. Yeah, I don't see a TT in here. Here's an MB TTXL. So maybe, oh, there it is. All the way back at the back. Specialty tool bag. So it's kind of like a like the XXL type bags and stuff like that. But it's almost like my tote bag, except it takes tools. Like I've got the I've got one of these bags. It's not that one, but I've got one of these type of bags. So it's something similar to that, but except for it also holds a lot of tools and stuff like that as well. Yeah, I had never even. I said you're the second person who has mentioned it, and the last time somebody mentioned it, I forgot to look it up because I remember somebody asked me about the TT, and I was like, I don't even know what that is. M12, great flooring scraper for me. Question, reality, Joey, any chance you'll make an updated video on your top favorite M12 tools? I probably need to do that. I think that's my most viewed video. And sometimes I get comments on there like somebody's, and I'm the same way. Like if I watch a video, I don't look at when the date it was posted or anything like that. So I get a lot of comments as if I think some people think I filmed that video today type thing. And they're like, well, you shouldn't really get this tool. And I've already got most of them that somebody's mentioned because it's been I mean, that's like several years ago and I've picked up a lot of new ones. So I probably should do that at some point. Matt HMM, I love Handyman Experience. Yeah, he's pretty good. I like him. I like watching him too. What's up, vegan? Don't join the bin of unused tool bags and pouches. I almost pulled the trigger on the DeWalt 12-inch miter saw for $350 yesterday on their deal of the day. Is it any good? The DeWalt miter, like most of the time, DeWalt's miter saws. Again, I don't have that one, so I don't know. Is that a cordless one, or I know the DeWalt 12-inch one, like the regular one, is one a lot of people really like. I never had it. I purposely probably won't ever buy a 12-inch miter saw again, just because I can't think of a time where a 10-inch hasn't done everything I needed to do, but very, very rarely. And they're so heavy that I don't want to pack one around anymore. Tech TT is a large open top bag. I'm an X-ray field service engineer and install them as well. I'm thinking of the M12 SDS would work. Just figured I'd ask first. Yeah, and like I said, the new one has It's got the chisel mode, which again, to me, that was just a bonus because for floor scraping or something like that, like what Matt was just saying, I mean, I don't see myself going out and jackhammering a pair of steps with it or anything like that, but knocking like tile off a wall or something like that, and you're trying to get back in behind somewhere that's tight, it's just a much smaller drill. So I was okay with the chisel mode being on there. That was one perk of making me want to buy it. But the biggest thing was I really love that it had a hook on it because I work off of a ladder with mine a lot and there's nowhere to put it. Like I ended up putting the spider tool holster, like the Velcro strap around the handle. I use that sometimes. I also wrapped a like tethering tool thing around it and clipped it on my body sometimes. I used all sorts of stuff. And it's like I can't believe they didn't put anything on it, no belt clip, no anything on the older version of it. But that thing right there is nice. Some way, is it the hose cord bag? It had hoses and cords in it, but that's the hose cord bag for HVAC is called the hose hauler or something like that. But they probably, it looked like they were intending for you to use. Basically, it looked like to me it was a big open bag for you to put big stuff in, and then also like a tool, almost like a those things that you put on 5-gallon buckets to put tools in around the outside of it. It's kind of like that, but a Veto bag, I guess. Less words, more pics. In general, what pliers do you use the most, Morgan? The the most used that I use are either diagonals. These two, everything that's in this pouch right here is what I use the most because this is what I take in almost every job I do. So I usually use my Kinepix diagonals the most, and my forged wire strippers, and then a pair of Cobras and a pliers wrench or something. But that's my most used is probably a pair of Cobras and a pliers wrench. But I do a lot of wiring work and service electrical and just different things. So I'm always needing to cut something. I use these a lot. And then I'll use these even just as pliers if I'm not using them as strippers. And it's got a good cutter on it too. The forged wire strippers. This is my most used tools right here. Because sometimes I just get out of my truck and I throw that on my belt and then I walk in somewhere and again, there's always going to be tools in my tool bag. If that's what I do, if I get out of my truck, I throw this on, this is how I go in somewhere. There's probably a tool I might start doing a job and I'm like, oh, this would be a lot better with, if I had my pair of snap-on Talon grips, but I can still do it. Typically with these, it just might not be as, I might have to make a few more turns with it, or I might have to go in at it a couple different ways, but I'm not going to walk all the way back out to my truck just to get that pair of pliers and take 5 minutes to go do that when it's going to just take me an extra 1 minute to use this pair of pliers. So sometimes if that's what I do, that's what I do, even though there might be a better tool for it. Handyman charges a fortune, but I guess he gets it. Steve's Woodshop and Tool Reviews, or he says he does. Yeah, you can make really good money out there right now, though. Got my Klein Scribes in RIP. Got my Klein Scribes in Rest in Peace Inkzall. I've noticed that it doesn't seem like my Inkzalls in the last year or so have been as good as what they were like whenever I first started using them. They're still okay. Just depends on what surface you write on. But back whenever I first started getting Inkzalls, like back when they first came out, like I could write on anything, concrete, dusty concrete, whatever. And now it's like they'll write on the normal stuff that a Sharpie would write on. But some of that stuff that they used to write on really well, that they don't write on the same as what they used to, in my opinion. It's the area you're in or your clients. Matt HMM said, yeah, it makes the world of difference on how much money you make based upon where you live. But then again, it shouldn't cost you as if you live somewhere where you can't make as much money, then it's probably because you live somewhere that doesn't cost you as much to live there either. So it kind of all equals out. But the clients do make a big difference. And again, it's the clients that you're searching out. That's why I talked about in that one video. It's like I do certain things, staying clean, working a certain way. I choose to do things a certain way because I've got a certain client that I'm looking for that I want to do work for, that's willing to pay me what I want to make type thing. I can go out there and, work like a dog for very little money if I wanted to and be slammed with it. But I just as soon work for the customers who I want to work for, doing the type of work that I want to do and making a little bit more money for spending the extra effort. You do that, but then again, you get to the point where there isn't that type of clients in the area willing to pay. Compromises must be made. Yeah, you gotta, until you get enough clients that are what you want. Like when you first start up doing your own work, your own business, your own whatever, you take on a lot of work that you might not really want to, because you got to get a base built up of the one you got to. Plus, you also have to go try that client out to figure out. Sometimes some of them you can tell right off the bat as soon as you walk in their house and you have very few words with them. You can tell this. I can tell what their expectations are for the type of work they're going to want done based on what I'm seeing, and then also what it is they're talking about and what they're asking for. The few words that they might throw in there about all they're worried about, they start asking like crazy about prices and can they do this and that. Pretty good chance they're not my customer, because that means they're going to probably have 5 other people in there and they're just going to go with whoever the lowest person is, which is going to be somebody who doesn't have insurance, somebody who's not, licensed or whatever else. And I can't compete with that. But you still have to go, you take on some of that stuff, and then you still might even do some work until you get enough of the people who you're actually looking for. And then once you've got enough of those, then you can start saying no to the ones that you don't really want to go do work for anymore. I work as a maintenance mechanic in a tofu plant. I really use channel lock a lot, but I've been using the Harbor Freight Talon grips more. Yeah, I use my Talon grips a lot. Basically, anytime I would normally use needle nose pliers, that's what I use them for. Late to the live feed. What is the rolling cart? It's a hyper tough cart. It was in my last tool haul. I just brought it out here. It's actually been in my truck. I just pulled it out of my truck, and I thought I'd set some Veto bags on it in case anybody had any questions about the ones I particularly had. But it's a collapsible cart. It was in my last tool haul. It's not the most robust thing, but for $50, it's pretty good in my opinion. Like I said, it's not going to last. Like some people, you'd break it the first day, but for how I'm going to use it, random occasions, working in office spaces, wheeling my tool bag around and little parts and stuff like that, it'll last me a long time. I saw your video on the construction jack. I look at trying to get the DeWalt one soon. It sounds like it works good. It is. It's nice. I've used it to put in a couple doors now. I've used it to lift up drywall, and being able to put your foot on it makes a world of difference. Do you remember your first residential job? Now, my first as my business was installing a barn door. I had to take out the jamb that went into a bathroom because she didn't want the hinges and the stop and all that stuff. And it was a split jamb, so you couldn't just take the stop off of it. And she didn't want me to bondo or putty or do anything to the hinges, so I had to take all that out. But then this house also had like a trim for the door trim that wasn't like your normal, you just go to Home Depot and Lowe's and buy it. So then I had to get all that off the uh, split jamb, save it, put in the new jamb in the exact same location as where it was, so that my paint lines, so that they didn't have to repaint the room, because I didn't want to do that either. Uh, Put that in. So that was actually the hardest part of that job. And then hanging the barn door wasn't a big deal. I've hung tons of those, but getting all that stuff off without tearing up the trim, without messing up their paint, getting it all back exactly in the same spot so they wouldn't have to repaint, all that kind of stuff. That was my first job as like my business. I have no idea what the first thing I ever did was, like, just in general. Some way said two newer purchases he's really enjoyed are the Makita blower and the Vestrise construction clamps. The Makita blower is on clearance at my Home Depot with a battery, I think for like $129 with a 4.0 battery or something like that. I saw it on the clearance rack the other day. Time to go pick up pizza for dinner. Any future review on Diamondback pouches, Mini Nico, or Flux pouch? I haven't. I've got those in my Amazon wish list. The Mini Nico more specifically because I'm interested in it. Just because I'm a pouch person. I like pouches. But Diamondback's got some new pouches coming out. Matt HMM sent them to me the other day. And you can go to their website. I don't think they're for sale or anything, but you can see them on their website. And they're a lot like how Holstery has little spots for you to clip bags and stuff onto their stuff. It's very similar to that. Like they're basically the front of their pouches have all these little add-on spots now where you can add on like a DB Sachs bag and whatever. So you can get like a smaller pouch. Like they've got a speed square one that I'm pretty interested in that holds a 7¼ square, also holds a trim square. And then it's got the front of it to where you could add like a Joey pouch or a DB Sachs pouch or whatever else to it. So you could kind of use it as a fastener bag as well. So they got a lot of new stuff coming out. So pretty good chance I might end up buying some of those. What's your opinion on the Harbor Freight toolboxes? I've got a Husky one right here. I had another Husky one that was bigger than this at my old job. So a lot of my very old videos, I was still working as facilities maintenance there. It's a black toolbox. It's Husky. It was one of the deeper ones. I really liked it. But whenever I left there, I bought it with my own money to put in my office. But whenever I left there, I just left it there because I didn't really have room for it here. And I left it for the guy to use. But far as I can tell, being in the store and looking at them, but I'm purposely will say I'm not a person who would ever spend, and I'm sure that they are super nice. I've seen people get up in them and stand in them and do all that kind of stuff on the snap-ons and stuff like that. And if you are a person who works out of your toolbox every single day and you're going to roll it around somewhere all the time and all that kind of stuff, then yes, you might would want to spend $5,000 on a toolbox. But I just can't imagine spending $5,000 and stuff like that on a toolbox. I'd rather spend $400 and put $4,600 worth of tools inside of it. Be me, but that's just me though. Again, I'm not a person who's going to use this toolbox every day in my line of work either though. So, but just on looking at them in the store, they look like they're pretty good to me. What's up, Killtronics? Appreciate the shout out at Tools with Tim. Got behind on the live, but you know I'm into Veto talk. Speaking of Harbor Freight boxes, I missed the 25% off US General Tuesday. Son is a senior in high school, considering getting into the trades. Any advice or recommendations to consider, things to avoid? So I would figure out, like, wherever you live, there's probably a trade that is lacking, like, amount of people. Like in my area, tons of electricians. Like if somebody needed an electrician, I could give them, 50 or 60 phone numbers if they needed somebody. HVAC people, probably still quite a few of those in my area. There's several different businesses. Like I see lots of vans and trucks and stuff like that. Plumbers, not very many at all. And I don't know if that's the case everywhere, but like there are hardly any plumbers like it. So it's very hard for me to even give people's. I got one plumber that I use all the time if I'm going to not be doing something myself anyways, but like very few plumbers in my area. So I would figure out in your area what the biggest need is. But then again, if your son enjoys whatever that is, like I would rather do something every day that I want to do than to go pick something just because I feel like it's going to be, I might make more money because there's less of them and all that kind of stuff. Like I wouldn't go into plumbing if I hated doing plumbing work just because there's not very many of them. I'd pick whichever one is the most interesting to me. The blower inflator, what's the better price than I paid by? I'm not sure. The blower inflator, that's a better price than I paid by $10. Oh, it was I don't know if it was blower / inflator. I just noticed it was a Makita blower. It looked like a leaf blower to me, like as far as the box of it did. I don't know if it was a blower / inflator. It looked just like my Milwaukee leaf blower. Like I don't think it was as big as my Milwaukee, but it looked like that kind of a blower. US General is not that expensive, but they are good built. We have a lot of people in the trades in my area. We are all covered up, Kiltronic said. Yeah, there's a lot of like electricians in my area is pretty stout. Like there's a lot, and there's a lot of, well, there's a lot of companies in my area too that are like a all in one shop where they've got the whole 9 yards covered like a, but they don't, the thing of it is though, like, so we've got a company in our town that has, they do HVAC, they do plumbing, they do electrical, they do, construction, they do whole entire buildings, general contracting, they do metal, steel, they do all sorts of stuff, like everything pretty much. But the thing of it is, they got really good tradesmen and stuff and tradeswomen that work for them. But that company like that's never going to go to this person's house and do work because it's not, they can't afford to go to that person's house, like to just fix something or whatever. It's very rare that they'll even mess with that kind of stuff because they're so busy with these big jobs that are paying, $1 million jobs and stuff like that. That's why whenever I go to people's house, they're like, I can't get anybody to come out here because there's nobody that is going to fill that niche of too big for the individual person or the unlicensed people that are out there doing work and all that kind of stuff. And then it's too small for the really big companies. They're not even gonna mess with it. There's that in between. That's kind of the niche of where me and my buddy work at all the time. Like we do jobs that are too small for them big companies, but then too big for this one guy that works by himself type thing. And there's all sorts of that kind of work out there in my area right now. I'm talking about the one that looks like a fat drill. Yeah, no, that's not what I got. I didn't get that one. Or that's not the one that was on clearance at my Home Depot. It was the like a leaf blower type thing. So no, you got a good deal on that one then, because those are expensive. Whatever trade he goes into, people say buy super nice tools, but I think you can buy a decent tool and it will last just as long. Spend the extra money you don't need to. Is Veto doing the spring promo? Maru, it's March 1st is when it starts. What's up, Ray's Apartment Maintenance? I almost messaged you to see if you wanted to do a tag team live. Mm-mm-mm. But yeah, it's so it'd be Friday at, if they started at midnight, it'd be Friday at 11 p.m. my time. So I have to, that's late for me though. It's way past my bedtime, but I'll stay up that night to, which we are, we're, we're grandbaby maintenance sitting Friday night. So I'll probably be up a lot Friday night anyways. I say find a niche that others aren't doing. I'm in the security alarm, fire alarm, etc. There isn't many in my area doing that, so I'm covered up right now. Need to get a bit settled in your new place. Yeah. Yeah, that the niche that Kiltronic said, that's a good point to make. Like if you're starting a business too, like I the good thing about doing a lot of things for like me is like it's very, people call me all the time. Like all my customers basically call me first and just ask if I can do it, have the time to do it, and willing to do it. And then I basically either I'm busy and I give them somebody else's number to do it or whatever. But I'm always the very first call. So I basically get my choice in if I want to do work or not. But that's because those people know that they can call me for pretty much anything. But whenever you're starting, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to like get your name out there as because a lot of people also, they don't call me sometimes because they're like, well, I didn't know if you did this or that because they don't know me yet. And they look for somebody specific for their problem. Like they could have called me and asked, but then they're like, well, I didn't know if you did that or not. So I called this person because I knew that this is all they do is whatever this problem was. So it might not would be a bad idea to have like a pick whatever it is that you want to do the most, kind of get some customers that way. And then as you work for them, let them know that you do other things, especially you can wait until you find out if you want to do work for that customer, and then say, hey, just so you know, not only do I do, drywall repairs, but I can hang ceiling fans. I can do, whatever else it is that you want to do too. Go finish patching some drywall. See you, Jock. Yeah, my week was mostly a bunch of just small random stuff, but it's all stuff that I was behind on. Uh, then I'm gonna start. We're doing plywood walls tomorrow in the storage rooms of the quadplex that we're building. That's what I'm gonna do tomorrow. You ever work for a house flipper? Assuming no, since they want to pay as little as possible. Yeah, I don't. I get calls from them from time to time, and I'll go. Like I said, I tell people I'll go look at anything. Like if I've got the time to, I'll stop on my way home or whatever and see what somebody's got going on. My exact words to them all the time is, I'll come look at anything because especially if it's somebody I've not met yet, and I'll go and even if it's something that I don't really think I want to do, I'll go meet with them so I can kind of get a feel for them, explain to that person what it is I really do, and then give them somebody else's phone number for whatever it is if it's something I don't want to do. But a lot of times, like I can tell that person as soon as I meet them almost. I don't do a lot of rental property stuff. I don't do a lot of any of that kind of stuff. I don't, in residential anyways. Now commercial stuff, I'll do whatever for the most part, but I don't do a lot of residential stuff that's rental stuff and all that kind of stuff. Cause just like what you said, that not only is it that they don't want to pay very much, but they also typically want you to do stuff in some cheap, crappy way. And it's like, I'm not willing to do that either. So, which is why stuff ends up being cheaper because my pay is probably not much different than anybody else, but sometimes my jobs might cost a little bit more, but it's because I'm going to do something a total different way than what some person's going to do that's going to come put duct tape on it or do whatever. So I don't even I don't even typically work for people like that. Don't cut corners, and word of mouth, best advertising you can do. And not only word of mouth works so well for multiple reasons. One is every customer that I get is coming from a customer that I've already done work for and has already paid me. So that means odds are if that person paid me and this person is friends with that person, then they're the same type of people because most people aren't friends with people who aren't kind of at least a little bit like them for the most part. And they've also told this person ahead of time, oh, he is really good or he's whatever, and he did such a great job. And they probably already got an idea of what kind of price range you're kind of in and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that's already figured in whenever you get a customer by word of mouth that you don't have to uh, take in consideration that you're going to waste your time as much. And again, it's also a pretty good chance you're not wasting your time to go look at that job because they picked you. You didn't, they didn't just randomly get you from out of the phone book or whatever else. They actually were searching you out to find you to come do a job for them. I'll send you an email with my info. Okay. Yeah, I'm curious to do a live like with two people. I've never just to see how it goes too. And we do pretty similar stuff. You're a little bit more HVAC than me, but we do pretty similar stuff. Mm-mm-mm. So what's the interesting things that y'all got into this week? Anything crazy job wise? I didn't have any kind of like other than that shed. That shed was a disaster. Like I said, I think I looked it up on Amazon. It cost $130, which was probably the cheapest shed possible that they could buy. And again, for what they're using it for, they probably didn't need anything expensive. It's just storing something in the odd chance that they're going to need to use the generator, they can pull it out and hook it up and do whatever. They just needed somewhere to put it. So it was out of the weather, but it's like, could have probably spent $250 and spent another $100 on a shed, one of those rubber ones or whatever that you just snap together, and probably saved a ton of money on labor because it was a nightmare. New job is all high end. Vegan can join. Oh, yeah. Anyone do tile work in the chat? I do occasionally, but I don't want to. I only do it for certain customers, but it wouldn't hurt my feelings if I never do tile work again. It's just so, and it's more so the getting all my tile saws somewhere and then the time in between all the steps and all that kind of stuff. That's why I don't mind actually doing the work. It's just the whole process of it. It's so tedious. Put in a new light fixture. We'll replace another one tomorrow or Saturday. Nothing significant. Installed a LCA with the missing power supply out of the box. Clint Cole looking for a bag or pouch that I can load and unload per job since I keep tools in a box or on a wall. And job, I mean around the house for helping friends or family. Doesn't need to be Veto. Looking for a bag or pouch. Like you talking about like power tools or just hand tools and stuff like that, or like you need like a big bag to throw impacts and all that kind of stuff into? Do you have a Tech Pack MC? I'd really like to see the size compared to an MB5B. No, the Tech Pack MC infrared is what I'm probably going to buy on the whenever the spring promo hits. But Adrian on HVACR, he's got a video with those two bags specifically, the Tech Pack MC and the MB5B right beside each other. He talks about both of them. CBEC. It's HVACR. Is that the whole channel TPG, or has it got refrigeration on it too? HVA TPG knows what the name of it is. I always just call him Adrian, and I search HVACR whenever I'm looking him up, but I can't remember if it's HVACR refrigeration as far as his whole name, or Clint Cole said hand tools. Yeah. I always end up using my pouches more than I use a bag whenever I'm just going around the house, but I don't know off the top of my head. Like I'm trying to think of something that's not Veto is what I'm trying to think of, because if you're not looking to spend a ton of money on it, I'll ponder on it. Clint Cole. Enjoy the nice weather the last few days. Yeah, it's been super nice. So it's starting to get the next few days. It's going to be colder at night, like get down in the 20s and stuff like that. But it's been up in the 70s, like and sunny. It was a little bit windy today. Like it was like the day before, like yesterday, it was crazy nice. Today was still kind of warm, but it was real windy. But yesterday was super nice. Feel like in my area that is a need. Took me a while to find someone I viewed trustworthy to complete the job. Wings and pizza. Yeah. The number one thing that I get asked to do more than anything so far since I've been my own business has been remodeling bathrooms. Like if you are a person who can remodel bathrooms, like do tile showers and floors and all that, like I've done probably three, I guess, since I've been in my own business. But all three of them I didn't want to do. I just did it because it was for somebody specific in a specific situation and all that kind of stuff. I didn't want to do it, but I did it for them. But I get asked for bathroom stuff all the time, like all the time. If I wanted to, I could stay 100% busy just doing bathroom remodels if that's what I wanted to do. But again, I'm at a point in my life where I want to do stuff that I want to do, and it's not something I enjoy. Plumbed a portable bathroom with a contractor style septic tank. Crappy job, Jack's Random Stuff said. Reliable HVACR. Yeah, so reliable HVACR. I knew there was something else besides the HVACR, and for whatever reason, I couldn't think of it. So Yeah. So who was that? That was Seebeck. So if you'll go and look up reliable HVACR, and you can probably search. I think actually I just watched that video the other day because I was looking at his Tech Pack MC. I think if you just search Tech Pack MC, I think his video will probably come up. I had Milwaukee Packout for power tools. You might would think about I've seen some people take a Milwaukee crate and then also a Milwaukee ammo box, and like they've got inserts, but I've seen people make their own like out of wood and just drill holes for like screwdrivers and stuff like that. If you wanted it to lock in with your other stuff, so you could just take it in and out with you. I know they sell some 3D printed stuff for the crate and for the ammo box that's like a hold screwdrivers and that kind of stuff too, but you might could make your own thing. Does it take a while for your live vids to upload once the stream ends? I don't think so. I think it just automatically, because I think it's kind of doing its uploading at the same time as your. Uh, I don't know if the quality is the same, like, but I don't think the quality is the same on a live, even recording it. Like, because if I film my videos, it looks different than what it looks like uh, me like this right here. So I think it's like maybe they don't do the live streams at like a higher quality, so maybe it doesn't take as long for it to upload type thing, because it takes a while. Like a normal video for me, because my internet, I live out in the country, so I live in a rural area. So normally, like if record a tool video and I go edit it, do all that stuff, whenever I go to upload it, sometimes it takes like an hour or more for it to upload. Like versus back whenever I was first making videos, like, because whenever I was doing it at home, it would take me a long time, but at my office, so like if the tool reviews I filmed in my office, I could upload them from my work computer, and we were on like fiber and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, it would take like, 20 seconds to upload the same type of video that takes an hour here at my house. But I think soon as this is over, I think you can watch it after the fact too. 87 today, Maru said. Nice. Tomorrow will be a little warmer than today, and then it's going to be 27 at night. Monday, I had a warranty gig, front door issue, sweep howled in the wind because threshold was bent down in the middle due to lack of support. Also, bad strike plate install. I used injected poly to lift. Man, doors have been something else. From the get go, almost well, really exterior and interior door, every door that I've got in the last year and a half from a store has been just something wrong with it. Like, and then from the factory, like the hinges will be off. Like they'll even have them screwed to the door and not within the routed out spot. But then they based all their latching and everything else with it already being there in that position. And I've always said, like, in our area, if there was a good door company, they'd be able to make a ton of money. But I know what happens is we get the doors, we install them, and then I get all my doors from a lumber supply place. And then we install them, and then we complain to the lumber supply place, but then they probably never really say anything to the factory, or even if they do, like somehow or other, it's not getting from the person who installs the door to the people who are making the door. And they just keep churning them out, churning them out. And I've always said, I can't understand for the life of me how a door company, like a factory type place that makes doors, how they don't have jigs and stuff where it is impossible for them to not have that door in that jam correctly. Like, how is it even possible that it's an option for something like that to happen? I have no idea, because if I had a factory where all I made is doors all day long, you better believe I would have it set up to where that jam would go into this position, and there's no possible way for stuff to be routed out in any other way except for the same exact spot every single time. But for whatever reason, and I think a lot of those factories, I think they put in all their door hinge screws with impacts, and they end up stripping them out and all kinds of stuff. It's just they've all been garbage. I work on a door on the south side of the home yesterday. The sun felt so good. I've done too many baths, some way said. I also paid more than I thought I would, LOL. Wings and Pizza said, yeah, tile work is expensive. Like in my area, it is anyways. Like you make really good money doing it, but it's super expensive. Like if you pay somebody to do it, it's super expensive. Chris said, I'm trying to get all my home projects done before golf season starts. I appreciate that, Chris, on the super thanks chat, whatever, super something or other. I forget what they call those things. Maru said, reliable HVAC is cool, but his screen's covered in sponsors. Looking to switch from MB5B. My bag is starting to lean and fall forward too much, Seebeck said. Yeah, see, I bought the MB5B last year to get the SBLD for free, and I never put it into like use, but I kept trying to stick my stuff in it, and I just couldn't. I need both sides of the bag on that side of the bag to be able to put tools in. Like I could if I wanted to use it like my SBLD, I could fit all those tools in there, but I couldn't fit anything like what if I'm going to use a bag that big, I need it to be like my a different hold more stuff basically. What's worse, drywall or tile work? Handyman Nate said, I hate tile work worse than drywall. Tile work pays more than drywall, but I hate it worse. It's just uh, every step of it is just, I don't like it. Quality of live is based on the number of viewers, I believe. It could be, yeah, I don't know. My videos can take the 2 to 3 hours to upload. Yeah, I've got some of them that are that way. Your videos are a lot of times longer than what any of the things I do are, but yeah, I've had some that way, and then sometimes they're faster than others. Just I don't know what that reasoning is, but I preferred tile over drywall. But I'm an artist, so I live in the boonies. And 2 years ago, we had a small coop bringing fiber by my house. I love it. Our small co-op. We've got they've been running fiber down through my road, so before too long, I should be able to get better internet too. Yeah, bad manufacturer, but also terrible install. My job is residential cosmetology, sometimes surgery. Fried rice break. Ryan Q said, love your vids. Appreciate that, buddy. Just seen in your links on this chat a pouch or bag like Veto Pro Pack, hybrid tool, and meter bag SBLD Veto is fine. Yeah, that's this bag here. The SBLD is this one here. It's the one that's got the open front. I'm aiming it at my iPad as if that's what I'm forget I'm looking at this camera. It's open front, and then it's the one with this pouch here on the back. I've got a meter, and then that little DeWalt gyroscope. I fit that down in there, and then keep a level and my magnetic pad back here. Very good bag in my opinion. I mean, I actually like it better than I knew I'd like this part of it. I just wasn't sure if I'd like this part of it because it's open. I'm more of I like the closed bag look better, but it has been nice because the way this sits in my truck, and again, I use my pouches more than I use anything else. So a lot of times if I put my pouch on, but I want to take like a pair of something that I don't have in my pouch, it's nice that all I got to do is just reach in this bag and grab it out instead of having to, open a bag, get that tool out, that kind of stuff. So that does make it kind of nice the way that I'm using it. I still would rather like in the field if I was getting it out and doing all that kind of stuff all the time. I'd like for it to be closed, but those big bags are so heavy when it's full load. Yeah, that's why I've been back and forth on the MC Tech Pack versus getting the infrared of the MCT, but I don't think it's that much bigger. And the way that I don't think I'm going to load it as fully as like what I normally like. Whenever I was only running this bag, I had it loaded to the max, and it got kind of a little bit heavy. And I'm going to try my best not to do that. How to say coop or unionized depends on your business. LOL. At my house, open is great. Yeah, another good thing, Clint. Now, if you want to go Veto and you're looking for a little house bag, like this is the This one's the 3B, TP3B, but I would get the 4B. I think the 4B is a better option. Like the 4B is what I've got in my house, is what I use. I just keep this out here just to throw stuff in to make it to where it's easy for me to get it while I'm working on my workbench. But the 4B is and I think you can get it for like I think they're only like $89 or something. I don't remember what they are now, but the 4B is a pretty good sized bag. It can hold quite a bit. And I've got the very first loadout video I've got is a TP4B. That's what I was using whenever I work facilities maintenance as just carry it to the houses and, use it as my go bag type thing. Pretty good bag. All right. See you, Ray, buddy. I worked for one of the largest wood door companies for 4 years and had to go to job sites and deal with angry customers. Nothing is more problematic in Division 10 than wood doors. Yeah, I can't remember the last time. A matter of fact, that as far as interior doors, I would almost rather these days, in all honesty, buy a door slab and go buy stuff and just make my own jams and route the hinges out and put it exactly where I know I want it and all that kind of stuff. I think I could almost do that in the same amount of time than to rework, because once they've already done some stuff, it's very hard to try to make it work and not have to do a lot of, oh, I got to fill in half this hinge and I got to do all sorts of stuff in order to make the door actually be in like it's supposed to, or to totally the lock set and all that stuff's off or whatever it is. I'd almost rather just do it all myself. I definitely almost am at the point where I'm like, send me the doors without a doorknob, cord into it and all that kind of stuff. Like no bore, zero bore, and I'll do the whole lock. That way I can at least put the door in. I can make the hinges work no matter how somebody's got it in there. But the problem is, once those hinges are off and you get that straightened out, 9 times out of 10, that lock set is not lined up anymore because the way that they did put it all together. So I'd 10 times rather just drill my own lock set and all that kind of stuff. I have a 3B, little small. I wish I'd have bought the 4B instead. In the market for my first Veto bag, and I'm so indecisive these days. I've been looking for probably a year. It's very hard, Corey, especially like I said, if you're like me, there's very few stores. There's a couple of HVAC suppliers in my area that carry Veto stuff, and you can go in there and look at it and that kind of stuff. But then again, they don't carry every bag. Like they might have like 4 or 5 bags in there, so you still can't look at the ones that you're looking at. And it's always very hard to spend that kind of money and not, put your hands on something. Unionized. If you're a farmer, it's a coupe. Have you used any of the wheelers, James Hastings? No, I haven't. I'm not one who really that often has to go a long distance with my bags. And if I ever had to, I would probably take my rolling cart or my rolling Packout box in that situation. Like and just throw my tool bag down inside of it and just roll that in if I wanted to, than to buy a tool bag with wheels on it, because it would be so rare that I would need to use it that I don't think I ever would. So then in my mind, if I was going to do that, I'd just as soon use my rolling box and stick my tool bag in it. The tech pack gets really heavy even if it's not packed full. I'm currently using the Tech Pack and about to get the Tech Pack MC wheeler for the promo. I'm an industrial electrician. Yeah, the Tech Pack MC is the one I'm interested in. I'm gonna get the infrared version if I get it, but that's the one I'm thinking about getting. I keep looking at the size of it. It's basically very similar to this bag. It's just a little taller, and the tall doesn't bother me as long as it's not getting super big the other ways. Duty phone rang. Big Brother Tubbs said, I'm an electrician in Clearwater, Florida, and yeah, there's no one that sells Veto around here. Yeah, the only things in my area is HVAC supply houses. None of the any of the other supply houses don't carry Veto in my area. So you might check out, like if you've got a Johnstone or any of the other ones that are the supply houses for HVAC, whatever might be in your area, you might check there. For whatever reason, they're really big in the HVAC stuff as far as putting it in the stores and all that kind of stuff. 1987, I have a wide variety of odd and small tools I might need at any time. So my first Veto bag was a TP XXL, and I love it, but it starts at 7 pounds dry. I actually had looked at that bag, or no, not the TP XXL. There's some sort of a framing bag. It's probably back here in the back next to that TT, because it's something like that. I don't think they sell it anymore. Maybe it was the TPXXL, or no, that's the tool pouch XXL. There was an XXL something or other that was like a long bag, and they had a spot for a square in it. I don't think they sell it. Maybe they. Oh yeah, here we go. It's going to be in this stuff. This bag here, XXL-F. I had thought about getting that a long time ago to be a job site bag, just to put the tools in that I don't, and then that way I wouldn't carry even if that bag got dirty and all that kind of stuff. That I just take it to the job sites that are nasty and open it up, and people can grab the screwdrivers out of it if they want to, and all that kind of stuff. But if I get that, I'm not going to buy it on Veto. I'm going to buy it on Facebook Marketplace or something like that, because it's not going to be a bag that I'm going to. But every time somebody says XXL, that's what I think of as that bag. But TPXXL is the pouch. Yeah. I've been using my Holton Forge pencil a lot the last few days. I'm really liking it. That's my favorite one of the bunch. I still use my Pikas a lot just because I got so many of them, but I like the Holton Forge the best just because of the shape. Are the tools included? It'd be nice. I was looking at a bag that they have that's a sling back bag, but can also be turned into a backpack. So that's probably like the MB5B or something, or not the MB5B, but the MB3B or something. But I think the MB5B, I think I saw where somebody had put like the sling back on that or something too. I don't know if it's a normal thing or somebody just did it. I know one of the MB pouches has that sling deal, and Reliable HVACR's got a video of that too. It's one of the MB bags. You'd think it'd be right here, but in the pouches, but I don't see it. TPLD, TPXD. Yeah, right here. The MB3 Blackout has like this one strap deal on it right there. But that's I don't know if they sell it. Yeah, and then it's also got a removable, swappable shoulder strap. So over here. So you can run this one as a backpack, but they also got this. But I think I saw where somebody, I don't know if you can buy this sling thing by itself separate. I want to say I saw somebody put that on the MB5B on a video or something like that, because the MB3 Blackout is basically, this is the MB3 right here, I think. Yeah, so here's an MB3 size-wise. This one's not the Blackout, so it's not V-swap and all that. The only thing about these bags to me is like you're just throwing all your stuff in it. Like there's no real pockets. I mean, it's got a lot of space for a lot of stuff. Like you got another big pocket here, another little parts thing there, small pocket here, pocket back here in the back. But whenever you get to the main part, it's like, and it depends on what you're going to use. Like if every tool you throw down in that, you're going to have to dig for it. Like, so I don't use this I got this as a free bag, as a promo bag 1 year too. I did have all my GoPro and all that stuff in it, but I moved it over to one of those Klein double zipper bags. I've been thinking about getting the DJI Osmo 5 or something like that, because I haven't filmed a lot of watch me work videos because the GoPro, in my opinion, I mean, I'd have to have 10 batteries, and I don't know if the batteries I got aren't any good, but I can put them in and it won't last 10 minutes and to be beeping at me. I have to spend more time changing batteries than I am working. That new DJI Action 5, or however, I don't know what the name brand is, but it's supposed to last like 4 hours or something like that. And I don't know if that's true or not, but I've thought about getting that. I don't know if anybody's got that or not, but uh, I know I think Vegan had mentioned to me something about the DJI microphones or something like that. I don't know if he's tried the GoPro type thing of it. Thanks for making my 2-hour commute tolerable, Jason Montgomery. Garbage disposal not working, smoke detector chirping. Everyone have a good night. That XXL-F looks like a nightmare to lug around. Yeah, I bet it is. Like I said, it'd be one of those. It'd be a tool bag that basically I'd put tools in it, carry it into the job site, open it up, and just leave it sitting somewhere. What do you think of the Velocity Pro Gear stuff? I've been keeping an eye on them. I've not seen any in person. I've only seen it in the videos, and we're kind of the same way with them that they are with Veto over there, is that in order for you to get them, you got to pay an extra arm and a leg. So I don't know that I'll ever try one. Tech Pack wheeler is about the same size as the Tech Pack, but with wheels. Do you have the SPMC? No, I'll be getting it for free whenever I do the order, whenever I get the tier 1. Ted said he likes the tools that fits in his pocket. I end up I don't carry tools in my pocket as much as I used to, because I just typically throw this thing on now and I just wear this all the time, either this or my smaller one. But normally, a while back, before I kind of wore a pouch very often, I was a back pocket and front pocket and every pocket I can stick stuff in. But even still now, occasionally, if I'm working somewhere that doesn't have finished floors or something like that, and I only need a couple tools, I'll still just throw a couple tools in my pocket. I try not to do it if I'm inside somebody's house, because you got the potential for a screwdriver to slip out of your pocket and bang on somebody's floor or whatever. But I just have a bad back at 37. I'm trying not to do any more damage, which is also why I took your advice and went for the Diamondback 701. But I need to find a Veto bag for bulk tools. SPMC reminds me of Velocity Pro Gear. No organization in that bag, Killtronic said. I don't know what bag you're talking about. That's using the whole. Wouldn't really work for me. I need to unzip and be able to see everything on display. Does Veto give you free bags, Maru? So starting March 1st, and it normally runs through May, but again, I don't know. It's different every year, but it's normally March 1st. They have what they call spring promotion. So what they do is they've got a tier 1 and a tier 2 bag that are free. If you buy a certain bag, they give you a free bag, but it's only 2 certain free bags. Like, you don't get to pick your free bag. It's a SPMC this year if you spend and buy a tier 1 bag, and it's a SC45 if you buy a tier 2 bag. Don't think about getting the DJI camera, just get it. They're phenomenal, light years ahead of the GoPro. Yeah, that's what really keeps me from filming very much of my work videos, because it's just too big of a hassle to deal with the batteries on the GoPros. Like, I literally if I'm someplace for an hour, I'd have to change the battery like 4 times. And then odds are at some point within those 4 times, I'm not going to know that the battery died. And then I'm going to get home and start editing, and then I'm going to be missing something that makes the video completely worthless. So as soon as I saw the reviews for that and it said it would last 4 hours, I was like, well, that might be worth looking into. Lock hammer, my GoPro overheats and the battery life is horrible. Yeah, mine's I said it's got its place, I guess, but I can't, like, I guess if you were just filming little short things and stuff like that, but I can't imagine if you're going to do anything for very long that a GoPro won't drive you crazy. Do you have the Milwaukee M12 grease gun, and how often do you use it? Yeah, I got it right here. I've only used it a handful of times though, just on my lawnmowers and stuff like that. So it's really nice though. I mean, if you do very much uh, grease gunning, it's super nice. It's really nice to have. Really easy to use, really fast. Got some grease coming out of it now, right there. But yeah, I've used it on I just use it on the stuff around my house, my lawnmowers and stuff like that. I got it on a deal is really the only reason why I ended up buying it. It was on they had it on sale with free batteries or something like that one day, and I picked it up. He was talking about the MB3, I think. Okay, yeah, no storage like organization at all. Like I said, the MB3 would be a good bag for like HVAC people or something if you want to put uh, probes and all that kind of stuff down in it, which is kind of what I think it's really for. But just to use it as a tool bag, it would drive me crazy having to dig down in there for all my stuff all the time. I think Reliable HVACR put that backpack sling on the bag. I watched his video and he said he helped design it, I think. Keep mentioning the Veto Infrared Tech MC, but I'm not seeing it on the site. All I see is those are that. It's the Tech MC is the Tech MC, and then that P stands for pouches. So it's like the Tech MCTP is the Tech MCT, but the P is the two pouches that are on the side, and that's the infrared. So that's what I call it, the MCT and the MC, because that's what they are. It's just the infrared version with those P's. But those are the two that I'm looking at. It's these two right here. They've also got the XXL, the TPXXL, and the something else MB5B in the infrared too. But these two right here are the two that I've been between. But I think I'm gonna go with this one unless it's sold out or something. And then if it is, I'll probably get this one. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and go with the backpack version, because I've already got this bag. So at least then I'll have a backpack. I don't have a backpack right now. And there are some times where it would be nice, like I said, to throw on my back, my tools on my back, and carry my ladder, carry my Packout stuff, and make one trip instead of two. Which is larger, Tech Pack MC? The Tech Pack is the bigger. The Tech Pack MC is similar size to this, but about 3 inches taller. But it's very similar to the MCT. Was thinking about getting something larger so I can do all my stuff from my MB5B and throw in a hacksaw and drill. I have to go Wheeler. I love my M18 grease gun. Yeah, I got the M12 one only because I got it on deal, but I've heard good stuff about the M18 one too. Tier 2 year, this is the SBC. Are you talking about that little oval shaped pouch? Yeah, it's the SC45 or something like that is the tier 2. Yeah, it's this, which it's got a pouch with it too, which is on the SPMC as well, but it's also like a whatever you want to call it, like a EDC type pouch type thing, I guess. It's on Woot for $109, Elliot said. Oh yeah, the grease gun is. I did see that on Woot. Last year's tier 2 was the DP3. This year it's the SC45. Is that grease gun good for my wheel bearings in my car? If your wheel bearings will take a normal grease gun fitting, then it would be, yeah. think you said the tier 1 is SPMC. Yeah, the tier 1 is SPMC. Got a customer with a fire alarm problem. They'll never find the problem during the day while they're there. Yeah, never do. SPMC or SBLD for a go bag. I don't know about the SPMC yet. I know it's going to be smaller than the SBLD. SBLD is a pretty good size bag in my opinion. To me, it's more of a, it's a little bit big for a go bag. Like if for what I call a go bag, it's almost like you can use it as a bag by itself and have almost everything you need in it type thing. But the SPMC, the only thing I'm worried about it is I had a TPXL. Like that was the first small bag that I bought, and it was really, really tippy. And the few little bits that I've seen of it, like Coolin with Kraus has I saw a video of his with it. It was his video, but it was Veto Pro Pack's video, and it looked a little tippy in it. So I don't know about it. It might be too small of a base, because that's the thing about like this base. You can see how that's more square. I mean, it's still a rectangle, but it's not such a skinny rectangle. Same thing with the SBLD. It's more of a squarish rectangle. And then I don't have the LC anymore. I got rid of it, but the LC, the TPLC was a little bit wider, more towards that square rectangle than what the TPXL was. The TPXL was like a really drastic rectangle. Like the length was a whole lot more than the width type thing, and it was really, really tippy. Is that cart good? For $50, it's good in my opinion. Is it? It wouldn't last like if you're gonna use and abuse your cart, throwing heavy stuff on the top of it and all that kind of stuff. I probably wouldn't buy it. But for $50, the fact that it folds up, like that's the whole thing about it. Like a normal cart might not cost you that much, but this one folds up, so it makes it to where you can put it in your truck and stuff a lot easier. It takes you a little while to get the hang of the folding up part, but folds up to 8 inches wide, so I can put it in my truck super easy. Again, it's like I said, it's all plastic. It's not really, it's 50 pounds per shelf is what it says, but it folds up pretty nice. And once you lock it in like that, it doesn't want to fold back up. Rolls good. I like it for $50 for certain jobs. Like I said, I wouldn't use it as a throwing a motor on it or anything like that. Let's see. So the tier 1 is the higher tier. Yeah, tier 1 is when the more money you spend gets you towards the tier 1, and the tier 2 is the cheaper bag. Forgot to say thanks for the heads up on the clearance on the Klein screwdrivers. Got some for $9.99. When does the promo start? March 1st. Normally, again, I've seen the photos. I made a post of it, but I got that photo off of Facebook, not Veto. So I'm just assuming that's when it normally starts, is March 1st. MB5B infrared or the Tech MCTP infrared, any insight? Primarily residential HVAC, but do commercial and industrial too. So I had the MB5B, and again, I say this all the time. It could be a superb bag for somebody. It was just too small for me, but I don't do HVAC like what you're doing there. So, depends on how many tools you want to put in it. Like the Tech MCTP is going to hold a whole lot more tools than that MB5B is going to, but the MB5B is also a backpack. So that's something you need to think about if you want a backpack or not. TP5B was top heavy too. Time we got, it's 8:30, so I'll probably get off here in just a little bit. But yeah, just got a few days. I have the bags ordered. I'm just hoping that they don't sell out before I get mine ordered or something, which surely they got tons of them. Last year, I actually even got the, last year was the first time where normally I've always got all my bags together. But last year I got the SBLD, and then it was a little while before I got my MB5B in the mail. Like they didn't both come at the same exact time. Normally they've always came at the same time, but last year was the first time where I didn't get one of them for a while. Or it was the other way around. I got the MB5B, but I think I got the SBLD and didn't get the MB5B for a little while. Which the MB5B was sold out for a long time. That's why I ended up selling the one that I had, because I wasn't using it yet. And I had somebody who was wanting one. And at the time it was sold out. So I just sold them mine and told them I'd buy it again whenever if I decided I wanted it. So Someway's been putting 1987 in the front of his thing. And I've kept wondering why you was putting that year up there, but it's because Corey RC is 1987. You've been talking back and forth with him. I was like, why is he putting 1987 in front of everything that he says? Like, I was like, I thought it was something specific. But yeah, I thought I'd get on here and see what y'all were getting for your bags. Sounds like a lot of tech packs, a lot of MB5Bs. As long as y'all don't buy all the bags of the ones that I want to get, I'm cool with whatever you want to get. I am interested in the SPMC just because it looks like a good small bag, but I'm a little worried about how tippy it might be, but it's free. So as soon as I saw the infrared bags, I knew that I wanted one of them. Cause like I said, that's the one thing about this bag. And I kept seeing all the bags that had the meter pouches on the side. And I was like, man, I'd like to have a meter pouch on the side of that MCT. I've seen a few flashlights in some of your videos that you were gifted, and I happen to have a commercial account with the company if you're interested in any others from that brand. I'm not real sure of the rules on letting other people use my account, which is why I haven't mentioned the brand on here. Yeah, I've gotten several lights from Olight, several from Woobin. I think Woobin's actually sending me some stuff in the mail. It takes a while. Whenever I never understand. Sometimes those companies will send me stuff and they send it to me all the way from wherever, and like it's available on Amazon, like, and it's their store on Amazon, so it's not like it's even another seller. It's like, seems like to me you just ship it to me through the same way it goes through Amazon or whatever, because there's no telling what they pay to ship me all that stuff. But I've gotten lights from Olight and Woobin, and then that Warson just sent me stuff here lately, but I even bought some of theirs just to try because they were so cheap. But last year I really didn't want the SBLD, but MP and Veto swapped it for me. SPMC for me, Renter MC for my wife. Enjoyed the chat. Look forward to next week when we start getting the bags. I'm still waiting for Zachary's answer on the guest of trade. I was giving him, I'm hoping I can film a guest of trade tomorrow. It's not supposed to rain or anything, so I still got to do that tomorrow as well. No, it's the brand that starts with the letter N, and I get them extremely cheap. Yeah, those were both given to me, not by the company, but by a subscriber. Mint DP3, oof. Yeah, I think you can. I think if you really want the tier 2 thing, I think they'll let you, like, they won't let you like get the tier 1 bag if you buy a tier 2 bag type thing, like an upgrade or anything. But I think if you, like, say for instance, you really, really wanted the SC45 and didn't care anything for the SPMC, but you were going to buy a Tech MCT blackout, I think they'll let you get the tier 2 bag for free if that's what you really want. I've heard of some people doing that. I bet Joey gets his before me. I hope so. Maybe you'll be rocking your Atlas vest by the time I get my Veto bag. like 70% off. That's a pretty good deal. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here and get inside. Matt HMM's back, so I'm gonna leave since he left to go get pizza. Pizza does sound good. Of course he will. He's married. That dang Veto, that dang vest is coming in crawling. LOL. It's ridiculous. Somebody commented on my 1824 video the other day, and they said the same thing. They said Atlas, as far as it's the same way. The very first few orders I made with them, I got it like that. Like took no time at all. But apparently it's that way now for just about anybody that orders something from them. It's like I can't imagine you're going to stay in business that long if you take 8 months to get somebody something. It's ridiculous. Little Debbie's. Corey RC, if you're interested, I'll think about it, buddy. I have a Benjamin electrician bag from Atlas coming too. Got to get some knee pads. Well, I'm gonna get off here. I gotta go do the walk of shame, walk around the camera to hit the X button. So I didn't even check it today. I'm sure it wasn't right, so I just went ahead and went this way. But I'm gonna get off here and get inside, and then we'll see y'all probably Saturday on the guest of trade. I don't know if I'll do a live Saturday or not. It just depends. But I hope, like I said, I got to film a guest of trade, so I'll either be doing that tonight or I might be doing that Saturday morning to get it uploaded in time. I emailed Zachary to ask him if he was going to give me an answer or not, so hopefully he'll give me one. We'll see. But I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. We'll see y'all on the next one. See you, Woodchuck.